Swings in the market can be measured 4 different ways in Optima, whether it's based on percentage, Gann swings, point swings, or volatility, which is based on ATRs. So as you can see on the screen, we've got 4 examples of that, and we can use the scripting language to determine these values. So I am going to show you an example using the percentage swing first. So what we've got on the chart, it's a daily chart of ANZ, and the black lines on there is a percent swing overlay. So it's set to 10%. So that means that the lines will change direction every time there's a 10% change in price. So we're currently at 25.95. So for this to change direction, it has to retrace $2.59.5. So around about 23.30, something like that. If the price touches that level, then the swing will change direction. If not, it will just keep going up and up until that level is met. So how do we use the scripting language? So what I'm going to do is put on an analysis tile. So I'm just going to right click analysis tile and right click on it again to edit the formula. So we're going to start off, each swing has a starting value and an end value. So in these examples, I'm going to use the end value for consistency. So it's called swing end, and then I'm going to backspace. So now we have to define what swing measure we're going to use. Is it percent, Gann, or volatility? So this one I'm going to use percent. So I'm just going to start typing percent swing, and then backspace into the parentheses, and this is where we can set the percentage. So by default it's going to be 10. So I'm going to leave it at 10. Close parentheses, and then we need a true false condition for an analysis tile. So is it up? And when I click apply, the tile will change. So in this case, obviously it's true because the current swing is up. But if I click on another chart, Bank of Queensland for example, you can see the tile changes red because that's in a downtrend. Now you'll also notice I've labeled the swing values with S0 for the current swing, S1 for the previous, and so on and so forth, S2, 3, and 4. And I've also added the labels to the values to the overlay tool. So moving over to the watch list, you can see that I've added these columns S0 through to S4, and these match the labels. And we'll just quickly go into edit column, and you can see that's the formula. So the swing end, it's the same as the analysis tile, swing 0, and we're just putting the value of the variable S1, which is the current value of the swing end. And you can see in the Bank of Queensland it's 996, which matches the label. If we go to S2, for example, I'm going to edit that column, and it's still S1, the variable, which is the swing end, but I'm using the offset function to offset 2 swings ago. So you can see S2 is 1067, which matches the column in the watch list. And as this is a downswing, the even numbers or offsets will be the lows, and the odd numbers will be the highs. So if I go back to ANZ, you'll see that S1, 3, and 5 are the lows, and 0, 2, 4 are the highs because the swing is going up. So that's an example using percent swing. Let's click on the Gann tab. So it's exactly the same concept with the labels and the offsets. We're just using GannSwing instead of percent swing. So in this example, I've got a column here, 3 higher lows. So if I right click on that and edit the column, you'll see that, I'll just move that over so we can see the labels. So same principle of the swing end, but instead of percent swing, I'm using Gann swing, and click on there to change the properties. So this is a 2-bar Gann swing. So we need 2 bars in the opposite direction for the swing to change direction. We do have quite an in-depth video on Gann swings and how they're calculated on our website, so I encourage you to take a look at that because it is quite a complex area. So we've got S0 is the current swing, S1 is offset 1, S3 is 3 swings ago, and 5 is 5. And you can see, moving on to the price chart, you can see I've labeled them S5, 3 and 1. As I mentioned, if it's if the current swing is up, then the odd numbers will be the lows. So going back to the formula, I've set those variables, and then if S0 is up and S1 is greater than S3, so if 47.53 is greater than 44.95 and 44.95 is greater than the S5 value, which is 43.50, then we should be getting a true result. So Xilinx here, you can see that column is true because 5 and 3 are consecutively higher. So let's click on another true one, Sirius XM Holdings, and you can see I haven't labeled these ones, but you can see we've got 3 higher lows on the swings. Last example I'll show you today is volatility. So again, I've labeled them S0 through to S4. Now what we can do is maybe calculate certain levels, or if previous levels are being reached. So let's I'm going to add a watch list column to here so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to create a new one here. So S0 equals swing end, and then this time I'm going to use volatility swings, and by default it's using 4 ATRs, average true ranges, but I'm going to set that to 3 and then close parentheses. So now what I want to do, I want to know if the current swing end, so S0, is that, how close is that to the previous swing, S2? So we can create a formula for that. So that's simply, I've created that variable S0. So now I'm going to divide that by offset of S0. It's 2 offsets because the previous swing was the high at S1, but I want to compare S2 with the current value of the swing. And when I apply that, I'm going to get a value in that column. So I can sort by that column, and when it's close to 1, or we actually have one exactly on 1, it means that the values are identical. So you can see I've got 2 swings here for IAG, and you can see the previous high is identical because we have a value of 1 to the current swing. So that could be like an indication to keep an eye on this. It might be a double top. If it turns around, it could be resistance. So it's a great way of measuring the relationship of the swings. So CBA, for example, that's close. So this is in effect a percentage. So 0.9899. So that's just over 1% away from the 2 swings, from the current swing high to the previous. And it also works for swing lows as well. I mean, it's calculating the values whether it's an upswing or a downswing. So I'm just going to see if I can quickly find a downswing. There you go. So origin energy, that's 2.95% away from the current swing down with the previous swing down. So quite a complex scripting with swings, but once you get the concept of offsets and direction, then it can be a very powerful weapon in your analysis.